I did say, listen, we'll find out a lot about this manager if David De Gea gets potted, and he's gone in it. Absolutely amazing. I'm so happy. All you Man United fans, yeah, that are talking about David De Gea, about how good he was as a servant legend, get out of here, man. Ain't no legend, bruv. Get the fuck out of here. But what? Do you just become a legend because of longevity now? This is how get out of my club. Do you know what I mean? I watched Schmeichel and Van der Sar lift the Champions League. De Gea's a little man. Compared to them two, what has he done? Nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, how many leagues has he won? What's he done? Get out of here, bro. De Gea's a bum, man. I'm not really trying to hear this. Like, David De Gea had his best seasons when we were the shittest club in the league. Like, bro, look at it, bro. Look at it on paper. Like, De Gea's best seasons for us were when we were so shit that it didn't matter. So what? We're gonna give him that. We're gonna give him that. Come on.
An outsider's point of view on De Gea is, for me, and again, not as a Man United fan, I always felt that he was very. I mean, the word I would use would be inconsistent with David De Gea. Sometimes you watch him and you think, wow, he's brilliant. Other times it was, oh, that's really basic what you've just, the errors you've made. And the problem with goalkeepers like that is they're always going to be like that. Do you know what I mean? And this is what separates the elite goalkeepers from the David De Geas, for me, is consistency. And for me, he was too up and down for me.
Bro,
too up and down.
This is the thing. You know what's mad about David De Gea, yeah? David De Gea had what we like to call in football a purple patch. You know, like that? Because when he came in, he was shit. And when he went out, he was shit. And then he had a purple patch in the middle for like 4 years where people were saying he's the best in the world. And what did we win? Fuck all, bruv. A man's telling me he's got 1 Premier League title. That ain't no legend. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? If we got 13 and you won 1 of them, you ain't no legend, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is this? I can't believe this. Get out of here.
You've certainly had a lot better goalkeepers in the Premier League era than De Gea.
Get out of here. People love De Gea at the beginning because he's making saves with his feet, but then he can't save with his fucking hands. What's the point? Do you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Get out of here, bro. Yeah, I'm not even trying to hear that. Do you know what I mean? David De Gea, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is why people love this guy, bro. Like, I mean, like, and this is the problem with football fans. This is what I fucking hate, because it's like, you look at David De Gea, yeah? He didn't really win nothing. He's got a shit personality. He's not like he's one of them players that are like really outspoken, big fan favorite. Do you know what I mean? The guy's a mute. He sulks when he fucks up, yeah? Like, we've had to bench him multiple times when he's been in contract negotiations because clearly he's got a bad attitude. He had this problem as well with his goalkeeping coach. He wanted to choose his own goalkeeping coach. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, if you play for my club, you get the coach that I give you, bruv. You don't choose who your coach is and that. Do you know what I mean? And then you got the goalkeeping coach coming out, slagging him off. This guy is a moron. Do you know what I mean? And he's clearly been a moron for a long time. He held us to ransom, got a contract of 375k a week, which is absurd. We were so desperate, we gave him that. He was the highest paid player at the club and the highest paid goalkeeper in the world. And he remained that until the day that his contract expired, bro. And he made more mistakes and cost us more trophies than any other goalkeeper in the history of this club that's been allowed to remain. Sir Alex Ferguson has never allowed a goalkeeper to remain past his sell-by date as long as David De Gea has been here. It's an absolute disgrace.
I think it's a problem across football nowadays. This new generation, fans become very attached to players that have been there a long time. I think every club has it. Spurs have definitely got it. Players that have been here 5, 6, 7 years that have never been good enough, but for some reason everyone thinks they're loyal and they do a job, and you're like, no, they don't. And you're right. Top managers. You look at the Pep Guardiolas. You look at the Alex Fergusons. That they don't keep players. They move them on. They move them on. And I feel like this guy had some good years for you, some bad, again, inconsistent. And if Man U have got any ambition of getting back to where they were as a football club, I think first and foremost, you've got to have a goalkeeper that's going to give you, like, if you're a 7 out of 10, give me a 7 every week. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to have camera saves. You don't have to be flamboyant. Just stop making the mistakes. Do the basics well. Get the ball, start play off. Don't mess up and you're fine. Too many goalkeepers though. it's trying to be flamboyant and, you know, camera saves. And look, it is what it is. But I think Anana to me, when I've seen him, looks good, looks comfortable. And I think it looks like it'd be a good signing for you guys at what, 50 million euros?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying that they want 55. They wanted 60. We're offering 50. We're gonna compromise at 55 million euros. That's
Right.
the rumors, isn't it? So yeah, whatever. Bring him in. Do you know what I mean? Like David De Gea, bro. Most of David De Gea's time at Man United, he ain't even been the number one for his country, bro. When has that ever happened? Like, where did all this De Gea flipping love come from? You know, it's them crazy saves. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's the saves that he shouldn't make that he makes. Like I watched one the other day. I remember it was against Chelsea. It was against Chelsea, and I remember like corner come in, he made a save, and then the ball came out, and then he made another save, tipped it over the bar. When you watch it in slow motion, it's like there wasn't a lot of power on the shot, and this guy's gone with the wrong hand and tipped it over the bar. David De Gea always does that, bro. I know what I mean? Like he always fucking does that, bro. And it's like it's crazy, yeah. When it comes off, it looks great, but when it doesn't, and it goes in, and not even the top corner, it goes in the middle of the goal. You look like a moron, innit? And this is what it is. David De Gea was doing loads of bullshit when he was younger, and it's almost like his reflexes have slowed down a little bit, and he can't get away with it no more. You know, like that boxer that used to fight with his hands down, and then he's getting a bit older now, so he's getting caught walking onto stuff. And that's exactly what David De Gea looks like. It's like his reflexes are shot now. So his poor positioning and all the other things he used to get away with when he was younger, sliding, making them saves with his feet. He can no longer do those because he doesn't have the agility and the reflexes to do it. And now he's looking absolutely horrid.
And I think the difficulty with David De Gea as well, because he hasn't got that physical presence as well. He's not commanding. And you know, when you look at like Van der Sar, what a superb goal. That guy never gets talked about enough in goalkeepers in general. Like when you're looking at Van der Sar,
him old as well.
Yeah, like Peter Cech, Van der Sar, Peter Schmeichel, David Seaman. These guys were solid. Yeah. These guys were solid. All right, they may not have been what a lot of the keepers are now, that, you know, like outfield players playing in goal, but they did their jobs. They were solid. They filled the goal, and the defenders had, you know, you had that presence in goal where you felt solid. You knew Peter Schmeichel was going to come out, punch the ball, and take everyone with him. Right?
Oh, everyone.
Not one of these kind of, I've gone up, but I've missed it, and now it's bouncing around in our box. Nah, come through, clatter everyone. Yeah. But listen, for you guys, I hope that your goalie's good. And it's always difficult with keepers. It's always difficult.
You know what it is, yeah? You know what it is? In the modern game, yeah, it's kind of like you have to understand there's always a trade-off in football. There's always trade-offs. As through the years, yeah, we've watched enough football that we understand what the trade-offs are. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for instance, you look at back in the day, your fullbacks used to attack and defend. They didn't used to attack very well, but they used to give you an overload. They'd give, but you didn't expect them to get assists. Like, no one was saying Gary Neville needs to get assists, but you expected Gary Neville to make sure that we didn't concede. And now you've got Trent getting all the assists, but then people saying he can't defend. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, there's always a trade-off in football.
Of course,
like there's always a trade-off. Like, if you're gonna commit to something, then you're gonna leave yourself vulnerable at the other end, bro. Like, that's how it is. And then you look at like Liverpool, for instance. Like, on one side they've got Mo Salah, and Mo Salah's not gonna track back. But then, cool, one of your defensive midfielders have to screen. The reason why Liverpool and Trent's been getting exposed is because Liverpool's defensive midfielders have not been doing their job. So Trent's getting exposed, in it, because Liverpool's midfielders been shit. They've addressed that now. There's always a trade-off in football. Like, nothing ever just happens by accident. Whenever you commit to something, there's always a trade-off at the other side, bro. Do you know what I mean? Every action has a reaction, bro. Like, it's life, innit? And this is just what it is. So I simply don't understand. Obviously, you've got modern goalkeepers that are better with their feet. Yes, which means, yeah, maybe they are going to be not as good with their hands, but it means they're spending less time doing the handling stuff and more time doing the other things. So obviously, the quality is going to go down, innit? If you think back in the day, these guys spent all their time coming and collecting crosses and shot stopping. They don't work with their feet. So now you're working more with your feet and on your positioning, you're going to do less with your hands. Cool. However, if it works for the bigger picture of the team, so be it. Because a lot of the saves you make as a goalkeeper has got nothing to do with the fact that you can dive, because every goalkeeper can dive. It's positioning. 99% of the time it's positioning, because if you position yourself well as a goalkeeper, you don't even really need to make a save. You don't really you don't make a save. Like, look at Hugo Lloris in his prime, yeah. He was one of the best sweeper keepers in the game. Lloris used to be off his line so quick, yeah. Most of the time, yeah, there was any danger, he put the fire out immediately. Do you know what I mean? As he gets older, obviously his reflexes, he's not as quick across the ground. But when he was younger, Lloris was off his line like that. Do you know what I mean? Goalkeepers that don't come out quick enough, they will cost you so many fucking goals, bruv. Especially back in the day with a 4-4-2, balls were coming over the top. Keeper wants to stay on his line. He's getting buried every time. So just closing the angle as a goalkeeper, you make so many more saves, innit?
Yeah,
Without having to make a save.